Hey everyone, welcome into another episode of the Spoiler Alert podcast. Ty and I both saw John Wick Chapter 4 this past weekend, and that's going to be the meat of this episode. And so excited to talk about it. I had to get it a little refreshed because I didn't remember most of the movies. They all kind of ran together, but I watched the first two, wasn't able to get through the third one before the fourth one came out. But Ty, I appreciate the recap of the third one you sent me. That was great.
That YouTube channel is awesome. 1 minute movies. Like he just recapped the whole entire third movie in 1 minute. So I watched it. I watched the first one and then I watched that, and I was good to go for 4.
Oh yeah. So let's just jump right into it. So a few upcoming movies this week. I'll start with the biggest one, which is probably Dungeons and Dragons. Charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers embark on an epic quest to retrieve a lost relic, but things go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. So yeah, I'm excited about this movie. The first review seemed pretty good, and I just got into playing Dungeons and Dragons in the past year with some people at work. So perfect timing for that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, and honestly, I've always wanted to get into D&D, but I've never really had a chance to. So I'm interested in this.
Yeah, well, come join the crew, Ty. We can add you in here. It's it's interesting. It's very open world role playing. You get to make your characters. If you like Skyrim and shit like that, it's right up your alley.
On Pardon My Take, I don't know if you listen to Pardon My Take or not, but they, after football season ends, they always do like a big 3-hour-long Dungeons and Dragons episode. It's hilarious.
That's awesome. The next movie here is Assassin. Now, this movie is by no means popular. I've never heard of anything like it, but the biggest reason I'm bringing it up is because it is a I almost called him John, but John is his name in Die Hard. Holy shit, Ty, what the hell's his name?
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis. Holy hell. Wow. I was going into his problems now. So
I was going to say.
It's a bad joke, but Bruce Willis, this might be one of his last movies here.
I think it is, from what I can tell.
A man dies as part of an experimental military program. A former Black Ops soldier takes his place to find who killed him. So it is Bruce Willis and Dominic Purcell from Prison Break.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was trying to find out when this was filmed. It had to have been pretty recently.
Let's see here.
Before his condition obviously took a turn.
Yeah, at least before it worsened. Yeah.
Was this one of those ones where they used the AI to deep fake him or whatever? Was that a thing?
I think they talked about that, but then he said no. Okay. So I'm not really sure. And there is not by any means a ton of details on this movie.
Right.
So we'll see. I mean, I have very low expectations for just about anything he's in recently. And again, it's not completely on his condition or anything like that. It's just it feels like he hasn't been in anything worth watching in a long time.
Right. He kind of phoned it in. So a lot of people probably think he was just trying to make as much money as he could before his condition deteriorated, which I for sure understand.
Sure. But that is coming out. Next one here, it is on Apple TV, Tetris, with Taron Egerton. That one does look exciting. It's funny that a Tetris movie gets an R rating, and it's only rated R for language. So they're going to be playing some fucking Tetris. They're really upset and got some names here. But it sounds interesting to me, the story of how one of the world's most popular video games found its way to players around the globe. Businessman Hank Rogers and Tetris inventor Alexei Pajitnov joined forces in the USSR, risking it all to bring Tetris to the masses. And obviously they succeeded.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool. And I'm seeing right now they've said an 8 out of 10 at IMDb so far. So I don't have Apple TV Plus, but I'm going to watch this somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how you'll do that, Ty.
I don't know, but
we only watch movies legally here.
That's what we do.
But yeah, they seem to be putting what's his name, Taron, in a lot of Apple TV stuff. He was in Blackbird. I'm not sure if you saw that TV show, but that was really good. Also a true story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one though, but I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's definitely worth a watch. And then Tetris in general, I'm always surprised. Like it's still popular, like today.
Yeah.
And I remember watching a YouTube video, like I think a world record was broken recently, and I'm watching them play, and the way they hold the controllers, many of the people play using like the old NES controllers. And
Oh,
what they do, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
don't
There
they
is
play
a
like upside down or something or sideways?
Yes, exactly. So there is a method. It's essentially called tapping, I believe, where they take the controller, they hold it upside down, and instead of pushing the buttons, with their fingers like normal, they like tap their fingers along the back in order to hit and make it move so quickly.
That is so much more complicated than it needs to be. But good
And
for
I,
them.
yeah, really innovating the game. It's like there was one dude, I watched a stupid like little YouTube documentary on it because I'm like, why would you ever think of that? And it was just one dude. One dude started doing it and he started whooping ass. And then everyone caught on and started doing it.
I wonder how long like the world record is for like longest game of Tetris. It's got to be like days or almost a day.
Beat Tetris? I don't know. Like, is there an end?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I've never made it that far. I'm not that good.
Me either.
But either way, that movie's coming out. That looks good. Next one, Rye Lane is a rom-com. It looks okay. Two youngsters reeling from bad breakups who connect over an eventful day in South London. So again, it's going under a lot of radars, probably because it is an English movie. And a lot of the people in it have not been in anything at all. They've been in like short films or short TV shows, stuff like that. The director is first time directing a major film. Everything else they have directed is a short. So we'll see how it goes for them. Otherwise, that's not one I'm running the theaters to see.
Yeah, definitely not. I was wondering if it was going to be streaming or not, but it looks like it probably will be in the theaters. But yeah, another one that probably won't be seen.
This next one, we were just talking about it before we kicked off. It looks creepy to say the least. So it's called Malum, Malum. It might be pronounced something stupid, but we're saying Malum.
Malum.
A rookie police officer willingly takes the last shift at a newly decommissioned police station in an attempt to uncover the mysterious connection between her father's death and a vicious cult. So, I mean, just from that description has me interested. If you go and look at the movie poster, brings you in even further.
It is terrifying.
It's creepy.
That looks like whenever you shut your lights off at the end of the night. That's if you see that, like, oh my, terrifying.
Enjoy going to sleep.
Yeah. I think this is also a remake of a movie called The Last Shift, which I can't remember if I've seen before, but it either reminds me of like the beginning part of the first Terrifier movie, or I have seen The Last Shift. I can't remember which one it is, though.
That sounds exactly correct. And it is the same director.
Oh. Okay.
So The Last Shift, both directed by Anthony de Blasi. He also produced The Midnight Meat Train. Not sure if you've seen that, Ty.
No, I haven't, but I've heard of it.
That is a mess
title.
of a movie. Mess of a movie. And that is the type of thing that Bradley Cooper was in before he started getting bigger roles.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. If nothing else, it looks creepy enough to throw on. It's only an hour and a half. And Ty,
Yeah.
I have a theory, and I want to test it out statistically, but I think it is true. The thing about horror movies, the shorter they are, the better they tend to be in my mind.
Absolutely. I was just going to say the same thing. I knew where you were going with it.
Because if we think about it, very short horror movies, Lights Out is one that comes to mind pretty often. I think that's like a 70-minute movie. And it actually started as a short film, like a 8-minute film. It is only an hour, 21 minutes. And that's all you need.
Yeah, definitely. The shorter the better for the horror. You get your scares out of the way and then you go home.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of the times, those longer horror movies, once you realize what the threat is and what's scary, it starts not becoming scary.
Yeah, it definitely loses that thrill.
So with this one, only an hour 32 minutes looks good enough.
Yeah.
And then the last movie here, Ty, I don't know how many people are going to see this, but it sounded funny to throw on here. It is a horror comedy called Summoning Sylvia. It is about a gay bachelor party turned spooky when sinister spirits are suddenly summoned. That is horrible for me to say. I have a hard time with that alliteration. But you watch the trailer, it looks goofy as all hell. But who knows? With these horror films, flip a coin if it's going to be good or not. I think one of the either Malum or Summoning Sylvia will be good. I don't know which.
Yeah.
I think my money's on Malum, but again, you never know with these.
This one is only an hour and 14 minutes long, so that's pretty short.
Yeah,
but I don't know what to think of this.
If they get right in and out, who knows? It could be scary enough. But it's also a comedy, and so a lot of the times that has to be done with some what's it called, with like white gloves or whatever. You have to really do that correctly because some movies they can't decide if they want to be scary or funny, and they do like this weird tightrope between the two, and it never works out.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The horror comedy's got to balance that line perfectly.
But speaking of kind of horror things, let's get into the news.
All right, so the biggest piece of news this week is kind of really a massive fuck up because Jonathan Majors was arrested for alleged assault in New York, and the actor denies any wrongdoing. We've spent pretty much a good amount of the podcast talking about him and his movie and how good he's been, but I mean, this is crazy. So he was arrested on Saturday in New York on domestic violence allegations after a dispute with a 30-year-old woman. The woman told officers that she was assaulted and was taken to the hospital with minor injuries to her head and neck. A representative for Majors denied the allegations and said he's done nothing wrong, and we look forward to clearing his name and clearing this up. Since then, Major's U.S. Army commercials have been pulled. He was in like commercials for the Army on TV. And then the woman has since recanted her statement, and there's apparently like video evidence like proving that he did nothing wrong. So who knows? This all sounds like such a big mess. Who knows what's going to happen out of all this? But if this is all true, what the world's biggest fuck up, Jonathan Majors, he's set to be a massive star, and he just pissed it all away being a dickhead.
He's trying to live like his character in Creed 3. He just wants to throw everything away. So, we're not going to speculate or anything like that on this show, but we're not going to speculate in terms of what happened legally, what happened in with the assault, stuff like that. What we will probably need to speculate here, Ty, is let's say that he gets canned for Marvel. What the hell do they do?
I don't know. I think being that they're in that multiverse saga right now, they probably could move on pretty easily and just recast him and say it's a different variant of Kang now, even though he's been in a lot of stuff already. So who knows? We don't want to speculate. We probably shouldn't even really keep talking about it. It sounds like such a shitty situation.
Yeah. I don't know enough about Marvel and everything about the Secret Wars. Is that what this thing's called? Like this whole thing?
Right now it's like the multiverse saga. The first one was the Infinity Saga.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because people were saying, well, they can just do Doctor Doom now because I guess in the comics it was essentially Doctor Doom, but they replaced him with Kang.
Yeah, I wonder why they went with Kang anyway to begin with. I don't know. Seems like Doom's definitely the bigger villain. Maybe they wanted to try to change it up or whatever, but who knows? We'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah.
In other news, we got Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon with Leonardo DiCaprio getting an October release date. So this is cool. This is a historical drama about the serial targeting and murder of members of the oil-rich, I'm going to say Osage tribe or Osage tribe.
Something like why they gotta make everything so difficult to pronounce?
I don't know. It's like once an episode, one of us has to say something fucked up. So this will open in limited theaters starting October 6th, and then it'll have a wide release on October 20th. So this is an ensemble. It's going to include Oscar winners Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, and Brendan Fraser. as well as the boy Jesse Plemons. So, given the top tier talent involved here, people are expecting this to be a big Oscars movie. So we'll see about that.
Is this the movie that originally, I forget where it was supposed to go, but it got canned and then they were looking for someone else to pick it up? Or
I
is that
think
something else?
Apple. I think Apple did pick it up, and it's
Okay.
going to be released in theaters through Apple and Paramount or something like that, from what I can
Interesting.
understand. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully it's good. It doesn't seem like Martin Scorsese really misses, but
Yeah,
if it
I
had a
can't think of
weird
any.
time being picked up by a production company, that could be something to note.
I also saw, speaking of Apple TV, they're looking to like really up their spending and start doing theatrical releases more often. So maybe this is the start of that.
Yeah, Netflix is really paving the way with all that, so they're definitely trying to get in on that. Don't blame them. I don't really have. I don't know a lot of people that have Apple TV Plus though.
I just have it because we have like a family plan. So like my dad
Right.
has it, my brother, myself, and I don't know what he pays for it, but
Hmm.
it's not just like Apple TV Plus. It comes with like a terabyte of iCloud and
Hmm.
Apple Music, a bunch of crap just kind of thrown into one thing. So that's really the only reason I have it. But yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know many others.
Yeah, I did do a trial of it one time to watch that show Severance, and then I
Yeah,
eventually got kind of bored with it.
yeah.
Seemed like it was going to be good. I don't know. But one more thing, two more things here. Last one's going to be quick. It is, boy, it's something. But right now we got Blockbuster Video has went live with a mysterious website. So right now, if you go to Blockbuster's website, it's just a single page featuring the
Okay.
brand's iconic logo and text with "We are working on rewinding your movie." So it's making people think fans of like a comeback here. So it's been 19 years since the last chain of video stores hit its peak with 9,000 locations worldwide. And Blockbuster's owner, Dish Network, has not commented on the sudden revival of Blockbuster.com, but has previously said that it's not franchising any new locations of the video store, with the only one famously remaining in Bend, Oregon. So
Interesting.
that, have you seen that on Netflix? The documentary about like the Bend, Oregon Blockbuster.
No, it's funny that it's on Netflix, but no.
I think it was on Netflix. It's pretty. It's pretty interesting actually. It's just like it's still a blockbuster, but it's like literally so old school. It's just like one lady running it. She's like the manager of this the last blockbuster, and it is so old school. They still do stuff with like really old computers. She has like several old like spare part computers back in the closet. It just seems so out of date, but it's so cool
Interesting.
because it's like it is like that nostalgic hit. But I never really was a blockbuster guy growing up, so there weren't too many around us this way.
We so this is going to be pretty irrelevant to the people that are listening unless you're from where we are. But
Mhm.
there used to be one in Lower Burltai,
Right, right, right. That's
and
right.
that we would go there quite a bit until the Eagle Video opened.
Exactly. Yeah. We would always do like there used to be some like in town and like Vandergrift, they were just like local mom and pop video stores and that Giant Eagle video really took over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like I just saw today someone using a red box, and I was surprised.
I
Like,
used to use it sometimes whenever I had video game consoles I could actually like play
yeah,
discs and stuff, but now it's just so outdated and now we have other ways to watch movies we want to watch.
yeah, legally.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so maybe Blockbuster's making a comeback. They famously fumbled the world's biggest bag of all time whenever they could have bought Netflix.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Good for you, Blockbuster. The last thing here, and I think this is so stupid, but Tommy Wiseau, unveils his follow-up film to The Room with the Big Shark movie. So it follows three firefighters, Georgie, Patrick, and Tim, as they work to save New Orleans from a very big shark.
I I gotta say, I love it. I think it's so fucking funny. It's just the stupidest name ever. It's just called Big Short. I
The
love it.
trailer,
It's gonna
I
be
gotta,
awful.
we gotta have everybody listening to watch this trailer because it is genuinely, I think, the worst piece of shit of all time. And I think, given my little knowledge of computers and CGI, I could make a better looking trailer than this.
But
I could make something better up on TikTok than this.
I'm so curious now because like after they did the it's just
The
called the
disaster
room
artist.
the yes that with Franco.
Mm-hmm.
Um he has to know like he's a the butt of the joke, and maybe he's just leaning into that a little bit. But I also saw him try to take over like that won some stupid ass award for some reason, and he kept trying to talk over James Franco. So maybe he doesn't. Maybe he has no idea.
I don't know how this guy keeps staying relevant. I don't fuck the room. I thought it was so dumb. I get it, like so bad it's funny and it's like a cult classic, but I mean it is kind of funny. But this like ever since then, you just keep seeing his name every now and then. And I can't remember if I brought it up in news a couple weeks ago or not, but Bob Odenkirk is doing a remake of The Room for charity.
Yes.
But yeah, this looks so wild.
We'll see what happens there.
He's so mysterious too. Nobody even knows like how old he is or where he's from.
Where he gets his money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Something weird's going on for sure.
Big Shark, dude.
But Big Shark, hell yeah. I mean, I hope it's I know it's not, but it'd be funny as hell if it was a direct sequel to The Room. Like somehow.
Oh, hi, Shark.
Hi, Shark. I did not bite her.
I guarantee that's in the movie. I guarantee
They better. Just
I guarantee it.
Because if movies can get a ton of viewers because of the memes, this movie's going to be okay.
I feel like this is definitely going to make money. It probably didn't cost that much. I feel like this is going to make money just because he has such a cult following.
But Ty, I'll finish off the news here. We talked about him a few episodes ago when we were talking about the quote unquote guilty pleasure movies. But our boy Adam Sandler wins the Mark Twain Award for Lifetime in Comedy Achievement. I don't know if you watch it. It's on YouTube, Ty, but fantastic. Like you just feel so good for the guy. He's never been anything but himself and so genuine. But seeing him get that award, it felt good seeing him there with all of his buddies and everything. Everyone's, dabbing him up. He's talking how much they love the dude and how much he takes care of his friends. But it's true. He has changed the world for comedy. You can hate all of his movies you want, but you cannot deny the impact he has had.
Oh, absolutely. I did see that like all his buddies were there. Like I saw Steve Buscemi, David Spade, Rob Schneider. Those were the only ones I caught a quick view of, but yeah, good for the Sandman. He's the best. We know he's the best.
He's awesome. I heard the other thing. I guess his wife is going to start doing stand up.
Oh, okay.
So that's fun.
She's probably got so many fun stories.
Oh my god! And he was talking about it on I guess Drew Barrymore has a show on. I don't know if it's like Roku TV or what, but it's something random. Mm-hmm. But he was on there talking about it. So hey, might as well jump in on it. He'll take you on tour, and if nothing else, it's just for them to be on tour together.
Yeah, start taking it around. And one more thing about the Sandman, I did just see that his next movie with the Safdie brothers after Uncut Gems is going to be another movie similar to that. It's going to be about sports memorabilia.
Interesting.
So I don't know if it's going to be the same kind of concept, or if it's just going to be like goofy as hell.
What if they're going to be the guys that buy all of OJ Simpson's sports memorabilia and then OJ robs them?
That'd be crazy.
Go into that. Yeah.
It's just about Pokemon cards.
Yeah. All the super rare ones.
Oh, man.
Well, let's hop into the meat of this show. John Wick, Chapter 4 review. We'll start off, no spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ty, I believe you had this rated as a 9, correct?
9.3.
9.3, very nice. And then I did an 8.
Okay.
So that easily rockets it to the top of our rankings for 2023 movies by a good bit. Knocking down Infinity Pool to spot number 2. But well deserved.
My gosh.
You kind of know what to expect going into this movie, but then you question, how are they going to handle it for 3 hours? And one way they could have done it is just kind of like nonstop action, but they didn't. There were some breaks here and there because there has to be. He can't just keep going. But for the most part, there was always something going on. It was always exciting. The beginning starts off quick and fun. I think that's the biggest word I can say about this movie. It's just fun.
Absolutely. In my opinion, it's the best of the year so far, and it's probably not even close.
Yeah.
This movie's got it all. Even like great cinematography. There's some great shots in this movie. There's one specific long take, one shot scene that is epic.
Mhm.
I don't want to go into that yet, but I saw the argument being made that there should be like a stunt category for the Oscars and specifically for this movie, and I couldn't agree more because this movie has such well choreographed fight scenes and stunts that it would probably just clean up. It would take home every award.
Yeah.
But regardless if you're a fan of the franchise or if you've even seen the others, this movie could stand on its own as one of the best action movies in quite some time, I think. So, like for context, I said I'm at like a 9.3. So I have that point 0.1 ahead of Top Gun Maverick. So one of my favorite action movies in a really long time. Definitely lived up to the hype and its expectations. It pretty much blew them all away.
Yeah, completely fair. And there's a lot of talent in this movie, you know.
Oh my gosh,
Course,
yeah.
we have those who were in it to begin with: Keanu, Lawrence Fishburne, Lance Reddick, who, you know, rest in peace. Real shame he didn't get to see how well this did. But now you bring in Clancy Brown, and like I didn't recognize it. I knew who he was when I saw him, and I'm like, wait, I know you. Why do I know you? And I'm like, oh, you're in like cowboy movies. That's why I know you. You have like that real deep voice and shit.
Yeah.
But Ian McShane, and then you bring in another Skarsgård. So the Skarsgårds hold both number 1 and number 2 for our top movies this year so far.
Yeah.
I'm gonna butcher his name, but I really, really like this guy, Hiroyuki Sanada. It feels like anytime you need a Japanese dude, he's the guy.
Yeah,
and
pretty
like,
much.
And like, it's not even sure be mad about typecasting and stuff like that, but he is genuinely a great actor. I really enjoyed him in Westworld when he was in that.
And he was also in like Army of the Dead and Bullet Train and Mortal Kombat recently.
Yeah, he's Scorpion. So he's just very, very talented. Glad he got some recognition there. And then what is it? Donnie Yen is Kane, who is kind of like I guess you can call him the number 2 in this movie, but he's always been It Man in those films.
Exactly, It Man. And in Rogue One, he was also, I'm gonna not a spoiler, but in this movie he plays a blind man. That's in the posters, in the trailers, everything. He plays a blind man, and then he's also a blind man in Rogue One. And for a minute I was like, wait, is Donnie Yen actually blind? And I was like, no, he's not. But yeah, Donnie Yen's in it. He's awesome. Definitely like a lesser known action star to just a casual moviegoer though. And then another one too, Scott Adkins, who's also another like definitely not on the level as Donnie Yen or Keanu, but another action star. He's in the Undisputed movies, and he's been in a bunch of other action movies like that. But he played the big fat ass. I think his name was Killa, with the gold teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was good in his role too.
Yeah. So again, all around star-studded cast, which you usually don't see in these types of films.
And definitely good performances all around too. Even the guy, his name is Shamir Anderson, who plays the tracker. He's a really cool character too. He had the dog, the big guns.
There has to be a dog in every movie. I've realized that.
Everyone's had a dog.
Yeah. So that and there's been one in all of these. And then we also discussed how, I think I texted you during the film, and I'm like, how much time has passed since like the first movie? Because it can't be long. Like all this just kind of seems to happen one after another. But the reason I asked was like his hair, John Wick's hair has grown quite a bit since the first movie. And I'm like, wait, how long has it been? And I don't know. Maybe there's an answer to it when we start looking through the trivia and stuff, but it has to be maybe a few weeks to a month.
Yeah. Oh, I know for sure between 2, 3, and 4, it's not a lot of time whatsoever, but I'm not sure between 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4. I might try to look that up.
Yeah, it's a good question, because I think a lot of time we're unsure in chapter 4. This isn't really a spoiler, but there's a lot of traveling in this one. They're all over the world. And so like, that's where I'm like, okay, how much time does it take you to go from middle of the desert where he was in chapter 3 to Japan to Paris? That they're all over the place in this one. So that takes time. Not, it doesn't take days to travel all these places, but a day. But yeah, not exactly sure how long it took there. But the people seem to agree about this movie. It has made IMDb's top 250 movies, sitting at 132 right now.
Oh boy. Nice. And I do think I found an answer for this. So it's looking like
Okay.
it says John Wick is about 1 to 2 weeks, and then let's see, yeah, John Wick 1 and 2 is 1 to 2 weeks in between, and John Wick 3 is about 1 week long. So therefore,
Mhm.
between the beginning of John Wick to the end of John Wick 3, it's been about a month.
Yeah. Okay.
And it looks
Fair.
like
That makes
so
sense.
yeah, that's crazy.
Because
I don't know if there's many movies that do that.
from 2, he kills the guy in the hotel, which you're not allowed to do.
Right.
And then they gave him an
He's
hour
on the run. Yeah.
before, so it was like an hour between the end of 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cool.
That's nuts. Very crazy, like quick timeline. You don't see that often.
But I want to talk about spoilers here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can say without spoilers other than how well it was.
Yeah,
This
I would
isn't a
just
spoiler because it's
Mhm.
been announced, but there is going to be a 5th one. Now, what it's about, who knows?
Exactly. So you'll have to stick around if you want to spoil it, or I would definitely say stop here and go see this movie as soon as you can in the theater because it's great.
Get on it. But all right, let's kick off the spoilers here. Starts off fucking brutal as
Oh
usual.
yeah.
He goes into the desert, and so maybe help me here because I think I missed it. The guy he meets in the desert, he is above the high table.
Yeah, he's like the elder of the high table. I'm not sure if he's like I think he's just like a higher up within the high table.
Yeah.
So he's some kind of like elder, they call him.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
And essentially he's like
he sits above the high table. So yeah.
that makes sense. Higher than the higher table.
Yeah.
So he goes there. He's like, I can't help you. And he's like, killing me would only make it worse. John Wick doesn't he's a sick, shoots him in the fucking head.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's just on the run here. I had the choreography with the fight scenes is incredible.
Unbelievable.
With how much this goes down. It reminds me of watching like the behind the scenes of Rush Hour when Jackie Chan is planning all this out himself. So shout out to whoever that was. We should probably find his name. Whoever did all the choreography and stuff, because that matters. Co-producer, music, fight choreographer. Here we go.
That's it. Yeah.
Laurent Damonoff.
Ah, okay.
He had. Tell me he's done other things. He has to.
Surely. Probably the other John Wicks, I'd imagine.
Let's see here. John Wick Chapter 4. The latest Terminator. Jack Ryan. Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh yeah, nice.
What else do we got here? See, it seems like he does a lot of little things too that are in between. Taken 3, Lucy. Taken 2.
Wow.
Yeah, so guy has experience. Rush Hour 3, that's funny that we just talked about that. So the dude's been in it all. Good for him. Yeah, that is exciting. So many stunt performers here. There's everyone in this movie. But
I saw behind the scenes of whenever they're fighting and somebody gets tossed down the escalator. I watched the guy hurl himself down the escalator and just roll and roll and roll. And they're like, "You all right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he just gets back up.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's crazy. Like, so whenever they're filming that, there's actually a guy throwing himself down an escalator willingly.
Yeah, those guys are unsung heroes.
Absolutely. It's nuts.
Awesome watching those people. But going to the argument, Keanu, Tom Cruise for action movies, that's where Tom Cruise has a little bit of an edge because he does all of his own stunts.
Yeah, he's usually breaking his own legs and arms and shit doing all his stunts.
Dude's a nut. Awesome. However, Keanu Reeves did go through 12 weeks of training of martial arts and stunt driving to do many of these scenes himself.
That's so cool. Yeah, you can tell that he's dedicated to being John Wick.
Yeah. If you've seen, it was for the third one when he did like the gun training course.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So crazy.
Yeah, he is John Wick whenever he does all that shit in real life. It's nuts.
Keanu Reeves did accidentally cut someone's head open while making the movie, so he got a
Oh
little
gosh.
too into
I
it.
wonder if it was with, well, that's a perfect segue because I wonder if it was whenever, okay, there's so many great scenes in this. I'm just going to kick it off real quick with the kitchen fight scene in the Osaka Continental and everything that takes place in that hotel, really. It just felt like so anime inspired. Even with that little anime knowledge I have, you get Kane eating the ramen, just sitting there in the shadows waiting for it to all go down.
Hanging out.
And then he puts those detachable doorbells on the wall so that you could hear people coming.
Genius.
That was insane. That
It
was
was
seriously,
so
I've never seen anything like that
awesome.
before. And I thought it was just going to be some kind of like explosive or something. No, that's why they just completely
Right.
subvert your expectations. Fucking doorbell because he's
So
blind.
it goes to Keanu Reeves's other project, Cyberpunk. The
Mm-hmm.
music and the feel of the whole scene in that hotel felt like exactly what Cyberpunk does when you go into like very similar looking places, but kind of that like techno-y music's playing
Yeah.
in the background. That's
Uh-huh.
exactly what it feels like. So I'm curious if he brought some of that over from the game. But
Probably.
whoever made that, the music all around, also awesome.
Mm-hmm. The
Um,
cinematography in this movie too, like I can't even state enough how well it is for an action movie. The cinematographer's name is Dan Lostausen. Lostenson. But yeah, like for an action movie, you get so many cool shots, all the colors and all this. There's a scene where John's just sitting by like a cherry blossom tree. That looks cool. All the different colors whenever they turn the lights out in the hotel. Like I said, Kane eating the ramen. There's the cinematography for a John Wick movie is awesome.
they seem to have really went all out for this one,
Oh
and
yeah, it's
probably
definitely paid
due
off.
probably due in part to we're in the spoiler sections now.
Mhm.
He appears to be dead.
Right.
Um, so it feels like maybe they expected this to kind of be the last one, but
Hmm.
there is. I texted you. I'm like, man, I thought there was going to be a fifth one. And then I'm like, I'm glad there's not. That was a good ending.
Hmm.
And then I looked it up. There is going to be a fifth one, and I'm like, well, hold up. Is he dead? Is he not dead? Is it going to be around someone else? Is it a
Yeah.
prequel? What's it going to be? And then, according to Keanu Reeves and the director,
Hmm.
when they had a post-screening Q&A session, it is up to the audience to decide if
Yeah.
John is really dead or not.
I did
Now,
see that.
cool, but leave that door open. Don't even
Yeah.
go through it, is how I always feel about these movies.
Hmm. I did see that since they went out and said that the movie has just. I mean, we all know that the movie's been absolutely crushing it at the box office. So it had $73.5 million opening weekend, and it's already made 137 million globally. So just for like context here, Chapter 3 finished with 328 million its entire run. So it's already halfway to the last one's total, and it's only been out for less than a week. So I wouldn't be
Damn.
surprised if he's actually not dead. So he's confirmed to be in the Ballerina spinoff movie that takes place in between the third and the fourth movie here, with Ana de Armas starring in that. But the Lionsgate president here, his name's Joe Drake. He said he's holding out hope that there will be a fifth movie, and he's not ready to say goodbye to Keanu. Yeah, no shit, dude. Cause you're making that fucking money, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but if he actually is dead and they focus on more of the other characters within the world, I'd be okay with that, and just leaving this with just John Wick's ending. But at the same time, I love these movies, and if they brought him back, I'd be fucking perfect with it. But I don't know how they would do it because he's like free from his high table there.
Yeah, I don't know what they do, and that puts a bar for the next installation of the film to really overcome, and I don't know if it can do it.
Yeah,
So I don't
especially
know. Let it be done.
especially with this next one, Ballerina being a kind of prequel to four. It's in between three and four, so I don't think that's going to be as good as this movie is at all. I bet it
Right.
would have to be on par with maybe one of the lower end of the John Wick spectrum here. But I do like Ana de Armas. I think so. I think it's going to be a good one, and they do have that show coming out too. It's going to be on Peacock though.
Ah, interesting.
It's going to be called The Continental. But yeah, and I definitely don't think we've seen the last of Donnie Yen as Kane. I don't know if he
Yeah.
stuck around for the end credits. I didn't, but I did see there's a post
Yeah.
credits scene.
Gets a gun in his face.
Oh, she puts it in his face.
I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, yes. Let me confirm, but
I
um,
know she like I just saw that like I read that she approached him or whatever, so I wasn't sure if she was stalking him or like if she's actually like, "What's up, brother?"
Right, right.
for killing her dad. Spoiler. That's
However,
we could probably go into it a little bit more about. They're probably like, wait, who are you talking about?
yeah, yeah. So hold on. Let me just read off the end credits here.
Yeah.
Kane's daughter is shown street performing with her violin in front of a building with a very large, busy crowd. Kane is then shown holding and smelling a bouquet of blue flowers and starts walking through the crowd towards where his daughter is performing. And a dark hooded person is shown just off the screen. The hooded person starts walking towards the busy crowd, also towards Kane, and it is revealed to be Akira. Shimazu's daughter. As she closes in towards Kane, she reveals a concealed switchblade, which he opens intending to kill Kane, and the screen goes black. Okay, not a gun. It was a switchblade.
Okay, yeah. So her dad gets killed in the movie by
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, that's setting up something there.
Yeah, it feels like it has to. And that's what I really liked about this movie was they did world building, for the background of this assassin society. They have all these rules. That's the whole point of the movie. It's all these rules. He broke the rules, and how do you fix things now? You got to do the old ways, which is Kane and John Wick having a standoff.
A literal duel, yeah.
And so, it's interesting to think about all that, but a series that I wouldn't mind seeing, and, it probably can't involve Keanu, but a younger version of John Wick.
Yeah.
Just
coming
getting
up
into
the ranks, of being, because by the first one, he's already a retired legend as far as like the assassins go. So there's just so many ways they can go with this franchise now that we're talking about it.
Yeah. And as you go through the films, all these guys are his friends. Lawrence Fishburne was his friend from his past life, and now Kane was his good friend again from the past life. So all of these people, they obviously know him because of his abilities and what he's done, but they were also buddies. It seems like they probably went on assassinations together.
Yeah, there's just so many ways they can go with it. Like we said, that's crazy. There's so many good scenes in this movie too. I'm just going to rifle off a bunch. We'll see what you think about them. So I was able to take notes during the movie finally, which was good because I hate to do it in the theater on my phone. So I make sure I turn down the brightness real low and try to just write down something quickly. But
might have to do that pen and paper.
Yeah. So still in the like Continental there, whenever John Wick has the nunchucks and he's just lighting everybody up with nunchucks, that was awesome.
So that does.
That's probably when he splits somebody's head open.
So yeah, I was thinking during that when he's whooping ass with the nunchucks, I'm like, man, they're really in effect because he's not killing anyone with them. But there was also a scene where I think the dude was either like bent over a table or on the ground, and John Wick is just whooping him with the nunchuck, and like it's not really doing anything other than hurting like hell. But it was just funny to see him just smack the hell out of people because again, it's not killing them, it's not even knocking them out, but it has to hurt like fuck.
Oh yeah. That's just what John Wick does. He'll use anything as a weapon. It's great. He's got people surrounding him with all kinds of weapons, and he just lights them up with nunchucks.
He did get a pencil kill. Was that in this one? Or I know they talked about him killing 3 guys in a bar with a pencil in the first movie, but I remember seeing him kill someone with a pencil, and I can't remember if it was this one or another one.
I can't remember which one it was either. It definitely was. You remember the John Wick skin in Fortnite? He had his own pickaxe, and it had a pencil on it.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
So I'm curious if they'll do kind of what they did with like the Godfather saga, where they took Godfather 1 and 2 and turned it into one movie.
Yeah.
Because if it's only a month between these, just stitch them all together, add some extra scenes, make it uncut.
A super long cut.
Yeah, why not?
It'd be awesome. I did see that they had an original cut of this one. It was like 4 hours long or something like that. Something insane. So they were able to cut it down to 3.
It's still crazy. Like, there really isn't a ton of dialogue.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like there's any really wasted time either, though.
Yeah, they're just beating on people. The objective. They say very little, and it works.
For 3 hours, it goes pretty quick, too.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised by as well. Normally, about 2-ish hours in, I'm like, okay, I've maybe this is enough. But I didn't feel like that at all.
Yeah, there was no. Usually, I can pick out a part in the movie where it seems like it's stalling out or things are getting slow. I didn't have anything like that for this one.
The only like annoyance I had with the movie was near the very end when he's trying to get to where the duel is, and he fell down the steps.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Oh, I was just laughing my ass off, and I'm
He
like,
fell down like 4
okay.
flights of stairs. Fucking got lit up.
And like, but like, if you watch it, like he could have stopped himself on one of those platforms, but I forget what it was, but he did. He slowed down on one of those platforms, and then I think whoever the stunt person was like, "Oh shit, I need to keep falling," and then you can see him like roll over. And he just goes, and I guess those steps are famous.
Yeah, they have a name. I can't remember what they're called. So they lead up to where the final duel takes place, and that place is called the Sacre Coeur.
Oh boy,
I think.
Something French.
There's 220 steps though, so that's a shitload of steps, and he's making his way up and down. I'm getting his ass kicked along the way, kicking asses along the way, and then he eventually falls. He's almost at the top, and he falls down every single one. So that's another stunt that had to be coordinated. Somebody threw themselves down those steps. God knows how many times.
I was losing it when that happened because
it was bad.
It felt like it was so unexpected. I'm like, oh fuck! Now he got kicked down those stairs. It's like Chutes and Ladders.
Yeah.
Except he kept going, and that okay. Now I felt like the movie itself wasn't super long. That one scene was extremely long.
Yeah,
it was like a
holy
minute.
Shit. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
That was one gripe. My other gripe: how many times is he going to get hit by a fucking car?
Oh my! So that was another one of my favorite scenes. So they're in the roundabout and they're in complete traffic and getting obliterated by cars.
Yeah,
even in the trailer, there's people getting like somersaulted by cars. And it was crazy.
And like, dude, it
was just nuts.
It's not just a chapter 4 thing. Like that happened.
Oh yeah, he has been hit by so many cars.
Gets nailed.
Luckily, those suits are like Kevlar and stuff, so that's how they can kind of get away with it. Like Kevlar, impact, whatever. But holy shit, this one had the cars to a max. That was crazy.
Yeah, that shit was funny. Just
every time someone got whacked, I was cracking up. I was
railed.
My favorite scene, I think the stair set was probably my favorite, but the other really, really good scene, the cars too. But then the overhead scene where it's like a long take, and he's just clearing out a building with fucking dragon's breath shotgun shells, lighting everybody on fire, shooting. It was so cool.
So cool. It felt like
a top-down video game or something.
Was it? I can't remember. I think it was like World at War or something like that. That had like the incendiary shotgun shells.
Yeah,
fucking
it is
awesome.
Nuts.
I think that was my favorite part.
Yeah, that was so cool. You see it from above. You just see the flames shooting out of the gun. He's clearing everybody out. Awesome scene in the movie. Like we said, the cinematography for a John Wick movie, so good.
Yeah, they went for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it paid off. Hopefully that gets them some wins there. People, if they're going to get upset with it, well, this is the 4th one. It has to be more original. Shit like that when they're, every Avatar movie is going to be up for some nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, this needs to be up there because it legitimately deserves it. It doesn't have a massive name behind it in terms of director, in terms of producers, and quite honestly, even in terms of actors. Keanu is fantastic, but you say, okay, Keanu's in this movie, and then Leonardo DiCaprio's in this other movie. Who's getting the Oscar? It's a shame that it works out that way, but that's the world. That's Hollywood. But so many deserved things in this movie. Just fun as all hell. Some things are silly. You might roll your eyes a few times during it. Some of the dialogue isn't the best. Some of the acting's not the best. But it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, I don't love how like in the first one he kind of talks and has like a normal voice, but since they've all the other ones he just kind of
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of just how he talks, which I get it. But in the first one, he can kind of talk normally, but he just kind of seems like he doesn't talk a lot or something. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Like
But
take a drink.
that's just John Wick. But yeah,
Yeah.
just yeah, I'm thinking I'm
Yeah.
back. Yeah. But he just keeps he's man a few words, I guess John Wick is.
Yeah. Also, we talked about Lance Reddick dying and everything, but his character also dies in the movie.
Yeah.
And that was a shame to see.
It hit
because of the manager of the hotel. He loses his I want to call him a butler. I know he's not that. The concierge.
Yeah.
And I know it probably wasn't planned for him to actually die in real life, but that has to hurt.
Oh yeah.
Killing him off in the movie and then this.
Yeah, definitely. And I was shocked kind of by that. I didn't expect that to happen at all.
Yeah. Just put him down. But Bill Skarsgård's character is a bastard in this movie.
Yeah. That was probably honestly, I mean, he's good, but that's probably just the weakest part of the movie. He's just kind of like a run-of-the-mill douchebag.
Yeah.
Douchebag French guy.
And again, maybe it just kind of went over my head as I wasn't focusing as much on like background stories and everything. So what is his position?
So they're like
the high
marquee.
table. Yeah.
They're called like the marquee, I guess, and they're just pretty much there to go clean up the mess that John Wick's created here with like all the other Continentals and all that stuff. Pretty much just going to put a stop to John Wick however he can, from what I can tell.
Okay. Yeah, he was okay. He was there.
Yeah.
You need a face to go after, and it was Pennywise. So they're gonna go get him.
He definitely has that face. He'd like to beat the shit out of.
Yeah. Anytime I see him, I'm just like, all right, you're a clown. I know it. That's all you'll ever be to me anymore is Pennywise.
He was like a normal guy in Barbarian though, and then gets killed. He got killed, right? Got killed. He definitely got.
Wait, was he in Barbarian or was that his brother?
Yeah, he was in Barbarian.
They were both in it? Okay. You're right. Okay.
Because I remember Barbarian, like, you think he's going to be some weird serial killer or something, then nope.
Right.
There's a troll in the basement.
Right. Yeah, if we're going to acting, or, not even so much on acting, but like the role in general. His role, he's just a face. It's someone for him to go after. I kind of felt the same about Tracker. That dude with the dog. It was like, okay, cool, you're here. Why are you here? Oh, you're here to save John Wick's ass, kind of like William Dafoe's character was in the first one.
Yeah, and I completely forgot Willem Dafoe was in the first one until I rewatched it the other day.
Yeah, he's just like his guardian angel with a sniper rifle.
Yeah, he gets killed violently.
Dead as piss, yeah. But yeah, that was because anytime he showed up, it was like, I'm not going to kill you. The money's not there yet. And then he kept like calling Bill Skarsgård, and it was like, all right, I'll do it for 40 million or whatever the hell it was. And finally Bill Skarsgård gives in. And what confused me there was when he agreed for it to be 40 million, I thought that was just going to be for him. But then it went to 40 million for anyone.
Everybody, yeah. Crazy.
And so I don't know if that was just like an overlook or maybe that's what was meant to happen. But in general, like I always try to think of like, okay, if you took this character out completely, how does the movie change?
Yeah.
And how I think about him is a couple things. One, when his dog is about to get blasted, John completely stops what he's doing and saves the dog.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Tracker go, I'm not killing you. You saved my dog. But if he wasn't there in general, does the movie change that much? I don't think it does.
Probably not that much, no. But then we also wouldn't have got the cool shot of the dog killing the goatee guy and pissing on his face.
Yeah, he did do that. Just really let him go. Oh, that was the other thing I like. He goes nuts, and the dog just bites the dude's dick.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Completely trained him what body part to chomp on. Like, all right, I'm gonna make a little callback here. Have you seen Stand By Me? Another Stephen King.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Chopper, sick balls.
Sick balls, yeah.
That's exactly what he taught his dog to do.
Literally.
The dog also got hit by a fucking car.
It did. I was like, holy shit. But it
blasted.
It ate it. It ate that hit like it was nothing.
Yeah. Rolled off it, back on all fours like a fucking cat, and then right
Did it
back
have
in
a
it.
vest on too? Did it have a vest on or
It had
something?
a vest. I don't know what type of vest it was. He definitely had a vest.
That's what I thought. Okay, so yeah, I didn't expect to see the dog get obliterated by a car. I was like, holy shit.
Wow. Then apparently, oh, what's her name in the movie? Akira.
Hmm.
Um, her actress is a singer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Rina. Oh boy, Rina Saw Ayama. Saw
Okay.
Ayama is what I'm gonna go with. But yeah, she is a Japanese pop star.
Oh, cool. We also got some sumo wrestlers. When was the last time we saw some
We
sumo
did.
wrestlers in
Those
a
were
movie?
some big fuckers.
Big old boys, and they were like, he was like, stop them. And they kind of did.
Yeah,
They
for a
they
little
must
bit.
they must have died because you really don't see him after that.
No, they did some like slamming and then they were dead. There really weren't that many people. Wait a minute, how? Oh, okay, it's incomplete. That's why. The cast on IMDb only has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27 people.
Oh
And I'm
wow.
like, there was way more people, unless they just reused people.
Hmm.
Um, but no, there's also 5 other people listed as either thug or gangster. So maybe they did. Maybe they just kept reusing people.
Probably. And I just saw this guy's name and it made me think about the scene where the guy's name's Klaus and all he says is I'm Klaus. Remember him?
Oh man, no,
The
I
guy with the
don't.
long hair and the snake bites, and they're like, "Oh, here, Klaus will take you to get to that club where the big
Okay,
fat guy."
yes,
And
yeah.
he goes, "I'm Klaus." It was so
Like,
funny. I was like, "What the fuck?"
all right, sick. Thanks.
And I think I saw probably on Reddit earlier today that the guy that plays Klaus is like a I think a bouncer at like a yeah, he's like a bouncer in a German nightclub or something like that.
Yeah. Berlin Bouncer. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
documentary on him. An exciting piece of Berlin's cultural history from the time of the fall of the Berlin Wall to the vibrant present. So it was during the Berlin Wall. Interesting.
That is wild. But yeah,
Yes,
he was pretty
big dude.
funny. Trying
Trying
to
to
think what else here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Well, let's do a little things here. Have you seen The Warriors?
Yeah, well, no, but I saw that this is a lot like there's a lot of this based on that.
Yeah, so when it goes to kind of like the end scene when he's trying to make it to where the duel is going to be. Also, before I get into that, why didn't he just like hide?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I
He
guess
should.
that's not his thing, but like you would think if it's an official duel, you would think he could go to one of the hotels and just chill out and be
Hmm.
protected. But
Yeah.
again, I don't know the rules.
Hmm. Or like stay in that sweet underground tunnel subway they were in where nobody
Yeah,
was. But
just
that's just
stay in
not
the
his
swamp.
style.
Yeah, fuck it. He'll kill as many people as he can.
I did
Uh,
see that there's a pattern of defeating the main antagonist in the movies. So with a headshot in the even
yeah,
numbered entries and then lethally stabbing them in the odd numbered movies. So that's cool.
interesting.
So 5 would have to be uh stabbing.
Stabbing, yeah.
Stabbing cabin.
Well, maybe that's where it goes with the switchblade that was pulled at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. But yeah, going back to the Warriors. So the DJ part when
Mhm.
she's like calling everyone, "Hey, let's go kill John Wick." That happens in the Warriors.
Okay.
When the Warriors are trying to escape back to Coney Island,
Hmm.
there's a DJ who is calling all the gangs to go and find them to kill
That
them.
was a really cool scene too.
Yeah,
Where you just get the chick and she's like, "Hey, everybody,
and
let's go
it
get John Wick."
filmed the exact same way. So in the Warriors, it's a close up of just like the DJ's mouth
Hmm.
talking into a microphone, and they call them boppers, which
Hmm.
is what she calls them in this movie. So
Okay,
yeah, that direct reference to it.
that's awesome.
If you haven't seen it, it's pretty good. I played the Warriors video game on my PSP
Oh
before I
wow.
ever saw the movie.
Okay, I
But
remember the game. Yeah, I never played it though.
it's good. It was good enough for what it was, you know.
Okay.
Um, I feel like we covered most of it.
I
I
think
guess
we did,
let's
yeah.
cover the end. Cover the end.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so they have the duel. Essentially, you know, they're going to take 3 shots. They hit each other every now and then, arm,
yeah.
stomach, wherever. And then the final one, and I don't know if this was like a code word to Kane to like
Mm-hmm.
let him know that, hey, I'm not going to shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
And so he purposely shoots him where he's still going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Where they expect Bill Skarsgård to be like, I'm going to take this last shot. And then
Mm-hmm.
John Wick just fucks him up, blasts him. Everyone survives. And that's where I was like, okay, just everyone's fine. No, there's no
Mm-hmm.
consequences. That doesn't feel right. But then John Wick does die. The
Yeah.
next scene, it's him. They're at his grave, and they're like, he dead. He brought up what he wanted on his gravestone, loving husband. That's what he got.
Yeah.
And so, like they said, it's up to the fans to determine if he's dead or not. I prefer to think of him as dead, and this is it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want anything else. I don't want him randomly being alive, but just in hiding. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want any of that. I want it to be over.
Yeah. I do too. This was a shocking ending. I definitely didn't think he was gonna
Yeah,
die.
same.
But at the same time, it was definitely a good ending to like his story for sure, because he's got his revenge. There's really nothing else he can do now. But at the same time, like I said, I'm just such a sucker for these movies. I wouldn't be mad about it if he was actually still alive and had like a shaved head and did something wild now. He was doing something else and somehow had to go and do it all over again. I don't know how they could bring him back though.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just
know.
always my worry is don't ruin what's already so great. I
Right. And
understand the money's dangling in your face. There's a lot of
that's
it to be
definitely
made,
it.
but this is a masterpiece in terms of an action film.
Yeah, I don't
Let it be.
see, and that's why I think he should stay dead too.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pull some shit.
Well, I'm going to pull up John Wick 5
Hmm.
because that did, when I looked it up, it was there. And I'm like, what in the hell could it even be? And on IMDb, Keanu Reeves is in it.
Okay, so maybe they're calling Ballerina John Wick 5 on IMDb
That
then,
could be.
because he's supposed to be in. It's like the Ana de Armas movie.
That's fair.
So hopefully it's just that. 'Cause I don't know if they really like said that they're gonna do 5. And I know the director and Keanu said they want to take a break from it.
Yeah.
So maybe they were just saying that because they knew he's dead in this one.
Yeah.
So
There
who
is something.
knows?
What is this? Oh, this is oh neat. There's a documentary. For the original? No, the John Wick 2.
Hmm.
Called Calling in the Cavalry. Is that neat? Maybe I'll watch that. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
hopefully that's what John Wick 5 is, and it's not, a continuation.
Yeah, so I'm seeing it says uh, most of what matters about making another John Wick film is whether the star wants to return and if they have enough good ideas for stunts and new set pieces to make another chapter meaningful. But I don't think
Yeah.
they probably could make a good, more meaningful one than this one.
Yeah. It peaked.
Yeah.
Yeah, more creative stunts. So no more getting hit by a car.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was all of them. I think we did it.
I think we did it. That was the best movie of the year for sure in my book.
Yeah, easily top of the list right now for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Looking ahead, the movies I announced for this week and even further down the line,
Uh-huh.
I don't think I have many expectations for something to take over that. Even the additional Marvel films like Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
I'm not expecting those to take over.
Honestly, me either. I'm looking forward to Guardians, and I hope it's really good. But I don't think it's going to beat John Wick 4 in my book.
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll ahead here and let's talk about real quick. Just say yes or no if you think it can be up there in terms of competing for that top spot. So,
Mm-hmm.
Guardians, it's probably no. Even though I'm with you, I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to say no for that, but yeah.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That one might be a yes for me, honestly.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
What else we got here? Uh, I'm skipping the ones I know we don't care about. Oh, here we go. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be head to head. That's gonna be head to head with John Wick there for sure.
That one's fair. I'm with you. I think I would also say yes. That can probably compete. Anything else? I'm in October, so not much time left. Um, Dune Part Two.
Yeah, I think that's gonna hopefully be really good.
I'll say no. Honestly, I like the first one, but I think I liked all of the other John Wicks ahead of it.
Yeah, probably.
This is probably a no. The Marvels.
No, no
No.
chance.
Probably not the new Hunger Games because that's been dead forever.
Yeah, I think I only saw the first Hunger Games movie.
The first Hunger Games movie is good. Second one's the best one. The third one is a two-parter, and it's not good. It's very bad.
Oh, okay.
Really like the books though. I think that's it. I'm on December 25th. Aquaman. No.
Wow.
That's it.
So there's probably going to be something in there that's going to blow us away and we're going to end up liking. But for right now, this is really going to be the best movie for a while.
Yeah, it seems to be locked in there for quite a bit, at least until July with Mission Impossible.
Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. We got some coming out in April
Oh, no.
here.
What'd I
Actually,
miss?
3 in the same weekend. I don't think Evil Dead Rise is going to come close to terms of John Wick, but I think I'll like it. But we get the Ari Aster Beau is Afraid movie, which is a horror movie. So that might be at the top of our list.
That
That might be
is
really
true.
good. And then we have Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, which is, it looks awesome.
He has another movie?
Yeah, so this one has Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and it's like
Oh,
he's like
man.
a Marine or some kind of soldier, and
Okay. Yes.
it looks awesome.
Just saw the trailer for that literally before I came on here.
Yeah. I don't know
And
what the Beau is Afraid is still about yet, but it looks pretty wild too.
yeah, Joaquin in there. It's gonna
Mhm.
be a show.
All 3 of those come out the same weekend. Evil Dead Rise, Beau is Afraid, and The Covenant. That's a busy weekend for me at the movies.
Throw it together, yeah.
I'm gonna do it all. I'll do it all in one day.
All right, Ty, I think we'll sign off there. Yeah, that was again, couldn't say enough about the movie. It's good. Go fucking see it.
Go see John Wick 4.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.